What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. Man, what a fantastic Monday Night Raw! Like from start to finish. Even though the match finish of the main event, I didn't really agree on. But other than that, still a pretty great show. Like, I'm Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. Monday Night Raw. This is the Monday Night Raw review on February 12th, 2024, the night before yours truly's birthday. So yeah, let's begin. Starting off with perhaps the match of the night, which was the Jey Uso, main event, Jey Uso and the New Day taking on all three members of Imperium, the ring general Gunther and his two sons, Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. But let's start off with the match, with we'll start off with Kofi Kingston and his arch rival Ludwig Kaiser going grappling, and this is where they start going back and forth right into the lower left corner. This is where the fans were chanting "New Day Rocks, New Day Rocks," and it seemed like the Lexington fans were such New Day fanatics. Let me rephrase that. But this is where Ludwig Kaiser had him in the corner. He started hitting forearms and right strikes, but this is where Kofi started fighting back, started hitting right hands and chops, which I believe Gunther was not very pleased. One, because he was doing the chops in general, and two, because of chops in general, and two, he was doing it with his son Ludwig. Until Ludwig hit a right strike, he was like, "You know better than that, Ludwig. Don't let him punk you. Like, do the chops like I've been teaching you, especially doing it on your chest for the past 2 years." But anyway, this is where Ludwig Kaiser then kicked Kofi Kingston right in his chest, like after he brought him down into a snapmare. This is where we put him in the snapmare. This is where he tried to go for a kick again, but the lightning doesn't strike twice in the same direction. This is where Kofi moved out of the way, hit the flying drop kick right onto Ludwig. This is where he hits a flying clothesline. This is where Kofi Kingston is like, "Yeah, let's go, New Day, main event Jay." This is where he tags in his tag partner Xavier Woods. He went right back down in the bottom corner ropes, hit a slide swiping kick, and Xavier Woods went soon after, run right through those bottom corner ropes into the flying clothesline. This is where we got Xavier Woods. First it was Kofi Kingston did a springboard crossbody splash right in the middle of the floor in the canvas. This is where Xavier Woods hit that flying fist right onto the head of Ludwig. This is where he put him right into the corner. This is where Xavier Woods starts staring at Gunther because he too won a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, but he's like, "I'll wait until my boy main event Jay gets his shot at the championship." This is where he starts stomping on his older son Ludwig, like right into the upper left corner. This is where Xavier Woods like, "Let's go, New Day," and then this is where he starts stomping on him. This is where Kofi Kingston tags himself in there. This is where Kofi Kingston starts doing his stomps right on the Ludwig because he really does not like him more than anybody. This is where they tagged in main event Jay, which everybody couldn't get enough of because they were cheering heavenly, like something that you would see the complete opposite of Dominic Mysterio. This is where Jey Uso starts stomping onto him like about at least 10 times straight. This is where he tagged in Xavier Woods. This is where he started doing stomp. Like, I guess he was replacing Big E because Big E haven't been doing this in over 2 years, if not 3 years. But anyway, this is where he gets tagged in. That's where Jey Uso got tagged back in by Xavier. This is where he throws him right to the bottom corner, back to the top. And this is where he hits a running hip attack right onto the head of Ludwig. This is where Jey Uso's like, I'm going after you after I'm done beating you and your boys. And I'm gonna welcome you to the main event penitentiary, main event Uso penitentiary, I should say. Yeah, but yeah, you get the point. But anyways, this is where Jey Uso saying like, "I'm gonna let you tag. I'm gonna let you your son and to be generous. I'm gonna let your son tag you in." And this is where Ludwig did so. This is where Gunther's like, "You wanted me do this match the week before we have our title match, huh?" Let's go. He's like, "Nope, nah, I'm not gonna do this." He tagged in his younger son Giovanni Vinci, and fans were boo. And this is where And then this is where Ludwig Kaiser was in the corner. He was like, "Your slit black hair dye sucks." And this is where Jey Uso's like, "You keep my hair." My hair out of your mouth." And then this is where he tried to swing him with a right hand. He dodged out of the way, but Giovanni Vinci then cowardly attacks him from behind, which they were doing a pretty good job selling their spots because fans were booing it, especially with Giovanni Vinci to start doing that main event Jey Uso wave, which the fans did not like either. They're like, "Boo! Like, get that wave out of our faces!" Like it looks like the after effects from the Homeless Man and the Hurricanes is ride that he rode over here. It's like the after effects, of the hurricane, Homeless Man and the Hurricane in his hurricane ride in the cyclones, perhaps. But anyways, this is where we got this is where Giovanni Vinci like, "Yeah, y'all forget y'all guys." This is where he tags in his dad, Gunther. This is where Gunther's like, "I'm gonna rip this abomination off," but it's almost half as worse than AEW's merchandise. And then swatted him right to the chest, which that was just a light slap chest chop like that Gunther just did, but it still probably sting like hell, like a hail bee, like if there is such a thing as that. But this is where he tags in his son Ludwig Kaiser, which he did the rest of the job. So hitting right hands right onto the head of Jey Uso. This is where he's like, "You never beat Jey Uso out of it." This is where Gunther hit a big boot. He's like, "That's another warning from AEW in their roster, including Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson." Brody King, which he's almost there with the American Dragon Matt King, Mark Briscoe, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and the CMLL Luchador. Even though they're not under contract, but they made a deal with that abomination company that we don't mess with. But anyways, this is where we got him. We had the Imperium throw Jey Uso back in the ring. This is where they did more damages on the poor main event guy. This is where we got but luckily, Jey Uso started fighting back. This is where he started hitting those rock-inspired punches. And I believe the step-up in Sagiri, this is where he tagged in Kofi Kingston, did his comeback, including the frog splash right on the back of Giovanni Vinci. Tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.8 count. This is where Kofi was like, "What else I could do to this guy?" And this is where Ludwig Kaiser interfere onto Kofi. This is where Xavier was like, "No, oh no, you don't." Trips him right on the apron. This is where he started hitting right hands right on the Ludwig Kaiser. But he's just where he tried to break him right in the eyes. And this is where he lands him face first right onto the apron, the hardest part, which is the proven fact that is the hardest part of the ring. More harder than my nephew's dump truck right here. But anyway, this is where Kofi Kingston then hit a big flying clothesline when Giovanni Vinci tried to grab him from behind when he was too distracted with Ludwig was doing in the background in the ringside area. But this is where he turned around, hit a flying clothesline. This is where he had Giovanni Vinci in the middle of the canvas. This is where he runs right through the top corner ropes. This is where he shout out "New Day" and hits the boom drop right on the Giovanni Vinci. This is where Kofi Kingston's like, "All right, now's my chance." He's like, boom, 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 try to go for the trouble in paradise, like you always do, with him clapping like "New Day rocks, New Day rocks." And then as soon as he try to head over there, this is where Ludwig Kaiser's like, "No, you're not gonna do nothing to my little brother because you reversed it anyways. But I'm still making it easy for you, and plus I do not like you. I despise you." And then this is where Kofi's like whatever, like, "Ludwig, get the hell off of me and get your filthy hands off my leg." And this is where he got it he got his leg right off of him. This is where Giovanni Vinci flips him over, like if it was the Royal Rumble match, but it already passed like nearly a month ago. Like that already passed and gone. Like if he wanted to be part of the Royal Rumble, he could have gotten that spot and he would probably would have won, or maybe not. Just like his dad and his older brother. But anyway, this is where Ludwig Kaiser driven Kofi Kingston right onto the symbol of the steel step, like he did to Kofi's New Day brethren, Xavier Woods. This is where he tried to throw him right back in the ring, and this is where Giovanni Vinci kicks him right back out of the ring. this is where Gunther's like, you're doing a good job, boys. Like, let your dad finish the job and finish him off like as soon as you get him back here. Or maybe I have a better idea. How about you pin him, Gio, which he did, and this is where he throws him back in the ring, pins him, but he only got a 2.5 count even. This is where the referee corrected Imperium. That was 2, not 3. But Gunther did not take this lightly. He's like, that was clearly 3. And then this is where he gets tagged in by Giovanni Vinci. He's like, you think I'm just a joke, Kofi? Like, you did not know that. Kofi, like, you did not learn from a couple weeks ago when we had our Intercontinental Championship match? Like, do you need a second serving of a deadly chop like the whole AEW roster except for Sting? And then this is where he picks him right up. This is where he's like, he just decided to spare him at the moment, hit him with a European uppercut. This is where he stared and mugged at Xavier Woods, with Xavier Woods mugging him back. He was like, what? Do you want some too, just like your brother? And then this is where he was like, he'd be looking at the fans who like, this is my sign of what I'm going to do to the AEW roster as soon as I get to All Elite Wrestling or the All Elite Wrestlers come to here in this company. Which I'm hoping that will be the scenario. And this is where he elbows Kofi Kingston right into his forehead, right into the bottom middle ropes. And I was like, man, like Gunther just cannot get enough of the AEW wrestler just because they use his signature move, the knife edge chops, as a normal throwaway move. But this is where he started hitting the elbow right into the neck of Kofi Kingston. This is where he went right into the bottom right corner. This is where he picks him right up onto that exact same corner, hits him with a European uppercut, which he slides back down onto the corner turnbuckle. This is where Gunther's like, what? Like, what y'all gonna do about Xavier and Jay? Like, especially you, Jay. Like, you think you're gonna take this Intercontinental Championship? Keep dreaming. Like your main event run here in WWE. And this is where Jey Uso was very pissed off for him provoking him, saying that he'll never be a main event player, let alone a world champion. This is where Kofi Kingston tried to dive up and try to tag in either Xavier and Jay, but this is where what's name was holding him back, the ring general Gunther. This is where he was like, no, Kofi, like you're not. This is where he finally hit him with the chop, even though it was like earlier with Jey Uso. This is where he hits a big clothesline to Jey Uso, which something just tells me he's gonna regret doing that. Like, even though like he's the mastermind into this match, but still, like even for the greatest masterminds, they have some kind of a downfall, which that happened right here on this match. This is where Gunther tried to go for the Boston Crab right onto Kofi, which he was having trouble doing at first, but he managed to pull him right back. This is where the referee's like, and this is where Kofi's like, let go, like I can't feel my legs, like stop, like I'm not gonna tap though, but please let go, like show me. And this is where Gunther's like, nope, not unless you tap. And this is where Jey Uso must have learned a thing or two from the AEW wrestlers, because he went right up there, hit him and slapped him across his face, which I believe that triggered the ring general, because he went to try to throw straight towards Jey Uso, but the referee was like, no, calm down, like he's not the legal man, you should be worrying about Kofi. He's like, no, he slapped me like he's being a mockery, just like the AEW wrestlers over at that stupid company. And then this is where they had to break this up until they had to put him back in position, back in his side. That's where we got. That's where we finally got Kofi to finally tag in his main event Jey Uso, which he went right on to which he started hitting clotheslines right onto Giovanni Vinci. This is where he hits a super kick right in the midsection. This is where he hits a wrenching uppercut. This is where Giovanni Vinci did try to go for a clothesline. He hit a Samoan drop. Did the same with Ludwig Kaiser when he tried to attempt a clothesline. This is where we got Jey Uso was stared directly to Gunther. He was like, after I'm done finishing with your boys, I'm coming after you next and taking your Intercontinental Championship in 7 nights from now. And that's where Jey Uso was like, ooh, so. And that's where he hits a running hip hip to the face, or more like bum to the face, like to both Giovanni Vinci in the upper right corner and the lower left corner of Ludwig Kaiser in the diagonal corner. Of course, this is where Luther tried to come from that corner when Gunther tried to distract Jey Uso, but it wasn't enough when Luther tried to attack him from behind because he got instantly super kicked. This is where Giovanni Vinci tried to go for a springboard crossbody, which that's no longer the ultimate comeback move because that was killed from the Royal Rumble match. And it got killed again when he tried to make a short comeback, but it got killed with a super kick by Jey Uso. This is where he's like, I'm like still got my eyes on you, Ring General. Like you looking very panicky right now. This is where Gunther's like the Ring General never never panics at all in his entire wrestling career. And this is where he's like, just to prove it, I want my young boy, my baby boy Gio to tag me in. Like, come on, Gio, like. Or Ludwig or whoever it is, like, which was Ludwig, I meant to say, because he tagged himself in the match when Jey Uso was doing his comeback move on the Geo. This is where it was face to face with Jey Uso and Gunther. With Gunther trying to go for a knife edge chop, but he dodges out of the way, which was a smart maneuver from the main event player and the actual main event Uso. This is where he started hitting his rock-inspired punches right onto the Gunther, especially by spitting on his hand like boom, like right on the Gunther. It was not the first time. It wasn't because he got intercepted with a huge nasty chop, which he finally did the second. His second time hitting the maneuver, which was a redo of the first time doing it in the second time. Here's where Gunther was like, "Oh, all right, like let's enough with the fun and games. Like let's put him away for good." This is where he tried to go for a ripcord lariat. This time it didn't work, but let's say it worked the second time. But this time, like Jey Uso ducked out of the way, tried to go for super kick. But this is where he got countered by Gunther by holding on his leg, spin him around. He hits a step up instigiri in a reversal to Gunther, which he had him laying right to the upper right corner. Here's where he spat on both of his hands, started hitting with both of their hands right into his head into the upper right corner. This is where he stepped right back. This is where he was like, okay, like what move to do to this fool right here? This is where he tried to just think of something by grabbing him, but this is where he gets flipped right over onto the left hand side apron. This is where Gunther tried to close on, but Jey Uso throw him off with a big right hand to the face. This is where he goes right up on the top rope in the upper right. This is where he hits the diving crossbody, which I believe he revived it after killing it by a second ago. Or actually, it was a minute ago. But anyways, this is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.1. This is where Jey Uso's like, of course, like, no, nothing to worry about, like, because I have something up my sleeve that's what's going to be a guaranteed victory, which I believe he nearly did because he tried to go for his cousin's finishing maneuver, which is his version of the spear, looking like my version of the spear on 2K 30. No, not 30. I'm saying 2K23. That's right. Yeah. But this is where he got caught by Gunther in a guillotine position, and he turned him, spin him around like a neck breaker, and chopped him right onto his chest. This is where he hit Xavier Woods with a big boot when they tried big boot to Xavier Woods, and then a big right hand to Kofi when they try to get back up to try to get tagged in by the main event Uso. This is where he gets ripcord lariat, but as soon as he tried to go for a cover, this is where Jey Uso kicks out at 2.99999999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. Like, yeah, nothing was not gonna put away Jey Uso at this point. Basically, yeah. Like he could have done that sidewalk slam, the Gunther bomb. Like nothing was not gonna put him away, but. This is where the ring general got up right on the upper right corners, where he started mocking just like his son, just because he's been mocked with his chops, but he's doing it to the wrong wrestler. Like this is his colleague. This is this is a wrestler that's going to be a mainstay in WWE as long as he is. And this is where he tried to go for a splash, and try to mock Jey Uso. This is where he knee him right to the gut. This is where Jey Uso got back up, got that guaranteed spear right on the Gunther. This would have worked if it hadn't been for one of Gunther's meddling kids, which was Ludwig Kaiser, that went for the save. Otherwise, we would have saw Gunther taking his first pinfall loss in 2024. But this luckily, this is where Xavier Woods luckily was there to save the day, start beating the living hell out of him, getting some retribution onto Ludwig Kaiser and sending him his face right into the lower left corner of the ring post. And this is where what's his name? Gunther said, I'm losing less stamina and power. I got to tag myself in case if we lose, I don't be embarrassed by taking a pinfall. And this is where he tags in Giovanni Vinci, and this is where This is where he tried to go for a powerbomb on the Jay. This is where he goes for a powerbomb. Jey Uso flips out of it. This is where he gets big boot, manhandle boot by Gio. But this is where he got back up, hit a super kick right into his face that answered right back to the Imperium member. This is where Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston got back in the ring and helped Jey Uso out by hitting a 1D right onto Giovanni Vinci, which Jey Uso got the cutter part position, a one and done. This is where we got both Kofi and Xavier Woods diving right onto Ludwig Kaiser. This is where Jey Uso then went up on the top rope in this corner in the upper right, or upper left, and hit the splash. 1, 2, 3, your winner in the match of the night in the opener. Main event, Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, The New Day. And what's your thoughts on this match? And do you think it deserved to be the number one match of the night, or do you think there's plenty of other candidates that could have been on the list? But let me know in the comments down below about that. But let's move on to the next slide, which we got they're showing the press conference again, especially with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and The Rock. The Rock simply turned heel because Cody Rhodes taking his spot, and two of him, and I quote, disrespecting the Anoa'i family. But this is where we got. Because Cody Rhodes, won the Royal Rumble, and that's why he picks Roman Reigns, because he had that option, and also he said Cody shouldn't be. Roman Reigns should be being the one that should be picking the match. It should be him. But next up, we got I'd say perhaps the third match of the night, which was the one of the Elimination Chamber qualifier match, which was the almighty Bobby Lashley and Big Bronson Reed. And let me tell you, they definitely delivered as well. They did a very very successful job, with the way they performed and the match finish, which I predicted. But the other match, not so much what I predicted, because I thought there was going to be some outside shenanigans. But even though this match didn't have no shenanigans going on either, it showed that sometimes matches like these don't need them. When it's already automatically a storytelling contest, and that's storytelling where on the road to WrestleMania 40, I should say. But let me know in the comments below on what, for those who watched this match, on how you thought of this match with Big Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. And do you think they picked the right guy to win this match? Let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna recap it right here, right now. Before I begin, I also want to point out that we had a vignette of the leader of El Idolo, Andrade, with him making his presence known that he is back in WWE, and he's a former NXT champion, a United States champion, with him beating Rey Mysterio in that house show nearly 5 years ago. And we also, and he made a huge impact on his return at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's right. Obviously I know that. How silly of me to forget, but But we're gonna start off with Bobby Lashley and Big Bronson. With Big Bronson Reed getting the advantage over the Almighty, send him right to the corner. This is where the female referee was like, "All right, get off of him. You got your whole weight on him." Like, and then she was like, "1, 2, 3." And he was like, "Okay, I'm off." And this is where he hit a big head button. This is where he did a single right axe handle right in the back of Bobby Lashley. And then afterwards, he hit a big splash in the lower right. He was like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to get my opportunity to be in the fight in a number one contenders match in my home country of Australia. And no big, bald, almighty man is going to stop me. And then this is where he tried to go for a Samoan drop or a Hawaiian drop, considering he's part of Hawaiian. But this is where Bobby Lashley counters out of it. This is where he tried to go for a hurt lock, but Big Bronson tried to counter out of it. But he started kneeing his right hip or right ribs, right side of his ribs, like the resist, the reversal, and then started to go for it. But this is where Big Bronson somehow got out of it, send him, pushing him right into the upper left corner, start elbowing him and start beating him. This is where Irish whipping him to the bottom right, but this is where Bobby actually counters that. I mean, bounce off of it like if it was Randy Orton and hit a big clothesline. Hopefully, Randy Orton will not give him a taste of his own medicine. Or not, I mean, not his own man. Let's say give him a taste of that move, like when he, like if or when he meets him at the Royal Rumble. But this is where he Irish whip him right to the left corner side. This is where Bobby Lashley then went right to the right corner, while Bronson Reed went to the left corner. I should say. This is where he clotheslines him. This is where he tried to end him already with a spear. But this is where I think he was trying too soon because he got driven right to the bottom right corner of the ring post, which he landed on the outside. This is where Big Bronson Reed's like, man, I may not like this guy, but he's not easy guy to beat. Like he is a tough, I'll say a tough, unearthly being right now. Like but he sent his own weight to Bobby Lashley when he ran right on top off the right corner apron and did a huge cross shoulder block right on the Lashley that sent him right into the bottom, threw him to the timekeeper's area. That's what I should say. Yeah, into the bottom right corner. This is where he brought him back in the ring.